Hi, everyone. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. People from all over the world. People of the world. Welcome to another. Welcome to another. The first live stream I'm hosting this year. Oh, it's been a long time. It's been. A round of applause, everyone. It's been a long time. For those people that are wondering, I'm not dead. I'm alive.
We're all alive.
I'm alive. I'm so alive. I'm so happy to have 17 of you guys here. So please, before we proceed, I want you guys to hit the like button. Keep hitting the like button. It will get YouTube to recommend this to other people, to show this live stream to other people so they can join us live. This is going to be an interesting live stream. I'm here with the one and only Anta Yaşa. Welcome to the
Hello,
live stream.
everyone. Hello. Good to see you this year also.
This is the first time I'm seeing Anta live. You know, people think we used to have like my unavailability has been everywhere. I've been guilty of being absent, very absent. But now I'm here. I'm here, guys. And God has been good. Alhamdulillah. And today we are going to be talking about...
Yeah, I'm reporting live from the mosque. As you can see from my background.
Nice mosque. They didn't kick you out, you see? This is proof.
No, I'm not
that
from
Islam
Sweden. I'm from the neighbor. I'm from Finland. I'm not from Sweden.
This
Let's not
this-
confused.
This is proof that Islam is becoming more tolerant. And I want to say hi to so many people on the comments. We have the one and only Jazz screaming my name. And we have Tabitha, we have King of Current, we have many people. We have Happy Mac. Blessed day to you. So happy to see you. I'm so happy to see all of you. You see, look at people that are happy to see you. See, Jax is happy to see you. King of Current is happy to see you. Happy Mac is happy to see you. Hello to you too. I cannot pronounce your name, but hello to you. I can't even read the
It's
name.
Hebrew, I think. It's Hebrew.
Yeah, obviously.
Jewish guy.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in from Israel, from all over the world, wherever you are joining us. It's wonderful to have every one of you here, you know, to discuss what we are about to discuss. One of the reasons why I didn't want to I wanted to do a video on this, just a short on this, but I had so many things to say. It's one of those topics that you want to write, you want to script a shot or you want to shoot one, and you just have so many things to say. You're like, you know what, let's just do a live stream. And also, many people are worried if I am afraid or if I have if I'm risking my life. I've received so many of such messages recently, especially after the what happened to Salwan Momika, who we are going to be talking about today. I've received so many messages like, I hope you're okay, I hope you're fine. I'm fine, guys. I am okay. As far as I know, except there's a secret plot I'm not aware of. I am fine. Okay,
Hopefully
I'm
not.
fine. I'm doing very
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Christ willing. Allah willing. Allah willing, I am fine. Everything is going great. Let me silence my phone. Oh god. Can't even find it. Anyway, yes, how is Sweden? How are you in Sweden?
I'm not in Sweden.
Oh, sorry. How is where you are right now? How is the
I'm not
mosque?
in Sweden. How is the mosque? I live in Finland. I live in the next door of Sweden, but our country is not very different from what is going on in Sweden. We follow exactly the same laws. We follow exactly the same culture. We follow exactly the same media. So we are very closely related to what's happening in Sweden, and we are in contact with Swedish people. So we are very aware what is going on. Yeah.
Finland. How is the Finland mosque? Especially the one that is behind you.
Yes, I am inside the Grand Mosque of Finland, as you can see. I am the Mufti of Finland right now. Dressed
Alhamdulillah.
in black.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so we are going to be talking about Finland. I say Finland, Sweden. Sorry. I think I need glucose. That's how my brain is
Let's
doing
not
me.
get this confused. Finnish people get very angry if you confuse them with Swedish people.
Oh, sorry. I will try my
We
best.
have
People from,
rivalries. You shouldn't be confusing us.
oh, sorry. You know that people don't talk about Finland like that. You are not that famous. Sorry, but it's the truth. Finland is not, except for Nokia, nobody knows anything else about Finland.
Nobody knows about Nokia anymore, so that's dead.
Exactly. So you put back into obscurity. But we know about Sweden. You know, people are putting Sweden on the map. You have Greta, the mighty Greta. Oddly enough, I'm yet to hear anything from her concerning what is going on with Salwan Momika. I don't think she has said anything or she will ever say anything. You know.
Who do you mean?
Greta Thunberg, the great saint of
no. Let's not get confused. She's marching with Palestinian keffiyehs on her neck and being the fascist she is. Of course, she's supporting something like that. From eco-fascism to socialism to supporting Islamism, we can see the rise of Nazism as it was in Europe 100 years ago. It is happening again. So the same people with the same mentality, eco-fascists, socialists, people who like Islam, Nazis, Jew haters, anti-Semites, all of these people are now coming together. And this is manifesting also, of course, in countries that were also historically allied with Nazis, as you can see, Sweden, Finland, and all of these other countries are, this mentality is still living in these countries, and it is very easy for Islam to operate in these countries. And Greta is the prime example of, for example, Nazi eco-fascist propaganda. As you can see, if you look at old Nazi propaganda, they have these young girls who are on posters, these Aryan young girls and posters promoting their socialism and nature and society and all of the same stuff they're doing right now. And it is very easy for these people to jump from eco-fascism to jump from this, oh, the world is going to end in 5 years if you don't give us money and do what we say for you to do. Very easy for them to jump on the next bandwagon, which was this organized Russian-Iranian campaign with Qatar to promote Hamas and promote anti-Semitism and promote Jewish hatred and hatred against Israel and all of that. And we can see it's happening all over the Scandinavian and European countries.
Yeah, which is very sad. Before we even talk about Momika, I don't know if you saw the news about the person that was arrested in London in England rather for burning the Quran during the Free Tommy Robinson. I think it was during the Free Tommy Robinson rally, right?
Yeah, I sent you a couple of links about him also. It's a very interesting case because in UK there shouldn't be any blasphemy laws. I don't think, like last time, the UK constitution or the law doesn't contain any blasphemy laws, and it's supposed to have freedom of speech. But what these people do is they confuse, for example, hatred or criticism or showing some kind of disrespect to religions as being racial hatred, which is very funny. And these people are getting, for example, he burned the Quran. He never talked about anybody's race or ethnicity. A British man burned the Quran, and the funny thing is that the police who come to arrest him are two Muslim men. There are two Muslim men in the UK arresting a UK citizen for burning the Quran in a country that is supposed to be completely legal. And because it is completely legal, they are turning this around and they're like, oh, no, you're not actually against Islam. This is racial hatred. This is you're hating on the Muslim ethnicity and the Muslim ethnicity. And this is exactly what the Swedish police and the court said. Salwan Momika and his friends, Najmi, supposedly were guilty of racially incited hatred against the Muslim ethnicity. Now, please tell me, what is a Muslim ethnicity? I want to know.
Yeah, I guess the Muslim ethnicity include all the gingers in the UK that are converting to Islam.
Yeah. White gingers. I guess that is the Muslim ethnicity.
It includes them too. Surprise. 1 minute you're a white ginger, you convert, you say the Shahada, and now you are a Muslim. It's just
ethnicity. Your race changes.
your race changes all of a sudden. All of a sudden you're now a Muslim, a new race. Very interesting stuff. Very, very interesting. So it's so interesting how these people cannot really differentiate. At one point, they make it that Islam is about a religion, but once somebody starts criticizing it, all of a sudden it's now a race or something like that. And now Islamophobia is like a race-based. It's now racial. It's no longer just criticizing a religion.
That will make you, Frank. You're the most racist person on the planet. Then you.
Oh, very, very. Oh my goodness, I am very racist. I am the. No, I've been called racist before I even started criticizing Islam. So minus Islam, Islam made me double racist. Yes. All right.
It's amazing, and what somebody also said in the chat is that the Manchester police actually released the guy's name and
he was
address
doxed
in the public. The police himself doxes him so that the terrorists can go and kill him. Exactly what the Swedish
what they did to Momika.
The Swedish police did to Momika, and we can prove this. They don't want to talk about this, but this is exactly what they're doing, and this is exactly what they're doing to me in Finland also for 10 years. For helping the nation, for exposing Islamist crimes, for exposing terrorist crimes. I've been prosecuted for nothing. The state itself does it. It makes you a target for terrorists to get rid of you because you are criticizing the mistakes of the state who doesn't want the people to know about their mistakes.
It's so sad. I was looking at what was. I want to ask you something. When you saw the news, when I first saw the news, what I felt was disbelief. I was like, it's not true, because there was a time that there was a rumor that he was dead before. And that turned out to be false. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's not true. And then I saw it again.
Because
and I was
Muslims were spreading this terrorist propaganda that, we killed him, he's dead. And this is to intimidate, this is to scare people. And they were promoting this propaganda before.
Yeah, so when I first saw it, I was like, oh, maybe this is another one. But then I saw it again and I was like, oh, it has been confirmed. They actually did it. It actually happened. I'll be honest with you. The first thing I felt was, whoa. There was just this shock.
Yeah, but it's not a shock. It's not something you couldn't have waited. We all know what Islamists do to people who criticize publicly, also very publicly. When they start to win the argument, when they start to win the public over, when they start to be visible, Islamists get rid of you. That's what they do to everybody. This is something that has happened 1,000 times. And as somebody said in the chat, in Sweden, people hire teenagers who are legally not obligated, not binded by law, like under 15-year-olds, under 14-year-old kids, immigrant Muslim kids in gangs. They can hire them for less than $10,000, 10,000 euros. For less than 5,000 euros, you can hire a teen to shoot somebody and kill them and not go to jail. And they've been doing this for years. For 20 years, wow. Muslims have been doing this. Muslims gangs have been doing this in Sweden, and now it's also coming over in Finland. And like somebody says, Sweden is a very dangerous place where anybody can get killed at any time because of this gang and Muslim and immigration problem. And like they said, any Islamist in the world could have just paid any gang member to go and kill Salwan Momika as they did. They exactly did. They climbed down the roof, inside the balcony, inside, and killed him in front of the whole world. That's what happened.
While he was on the live stream.
Yeah, while he was on the live stream, and the Swedish police apprehended the killers on the suspected place and released them after 24 hours, saying that we're not suspecting them of any crimes at this point.
This is let's just get to the articles that you sent me. Let's go to those. Give me a moment.
Hi, I'm from Sweden. It's been crazy here, and it's been shooting in my city of Örebro today. It's every day. Every day they have shootings. They had 32 bombs, 32 bomb attacks, bombs blowing up in January alone. In this year alone, 32 terrorist bomb attacks. This is not happening in Nigeria. This is not
That's the
happening
crazy part.
in Syria. This is not happening in Iraq. This is happening in fucking Sweden. 32 bomb attacks in January.
That is
It's,
that is
it's
the that is
crazy.
the funny part. That is the funny part. Like when I see some of these things and I'm like, this is not
Refresh
Nigeria.
refresh the right up.
Yeah, I know,
English.
I've
Yeah, there we
I've
go.
mastered the art of translating.
Okay,
Thanks
good.
to you. Okay, so this is the headline. But before we start reading, you were saying something, and you said that the interesting thing is how this is not even happening in Nigeria. This is happening in Sweden, which is something that kind of makes it tragic, really, really tragic. That this is not happening anywhere else than Sweden of all places, somewhere in the West. If it was happening in Nigeria, I would say okay. But I mean, Nigeria has not even gotten this. I don't know. It is bad here, but the way it is bad in the West is shockingly bad. Here it's like, oh, it's reasonable. What do you expect from a corrupt government? You understand? But to expect people in Sweden to be corrupt, I guess this corruption has gone round. What can I
Yeah,
say?
somebody just asked like 32 bombs in January alone, all the religion of peace. Well, they are not all inspired purely by Islamic motivation or jihadism. That they are mostly related by Muslim gangs activity, drugs, gang activity, violence. Some of the gang members go and kill the other gang members, family members. They retaliate. They shoot bombs. They blow each other up, and it's not only Muslims against the Swedish people. It's different Muslim gangs also fighting each other, and they're
Mm.
not all basically motivated by Islam, but Islam is the main source of this people not integrating, not liberalizing, not being a part of the society. Islam is the main source of that causes all of these criminal and gang activity, that causes violence and bomb attacks and rapes. We can all see what is going on.
That's so tragic. It's really, really so tragic what Sweden has become. So here's the first news article about Salwan Momika. Sweden asylum seeker burning Quran, murdered in terrorist attack. Finnish Muslim celebrates terrorist. Not just Finnish Muslim, many Muslims around the world.
Everywhere, around the
Everywhere
world,
they were
around the
celebrating. I
world.
mean,
Millions of
Mohammed
millions and
hijab.
millions of comments, millions of emojis,
Yeah, I
millions
mean,
of
we had
laughing Muslims,
Bushra.
millions of videos.
Yeah, you remember the tweet from Bushra Shaikh where she was like, just after the news broke that someone has been murdered. After the news had just broke, she was like, I think it should be a crime. Islamophobia should be a crime. Burning the Quran should be a crime. Burning any religious text should be a crime. That was her response to the news. It should be a crime. And then you have Mohammed Hijab saying that, what did he say? He said that he did not just burn the Quran, he burned the bridge. He burned bridges with the wrong people, something like that. Basically celebrating the whole thing boldly and proudly. This is somebody who is in the UK saying something like that. In the same UK where if you make a Facebook post, that is Islamophobic, you will be arrested. He's the same. Mohammed Hijab will be there and say something like that, and nothing would happen to him.
I have two examples. Some British guy yelled in London, in middle of United Kingdom. He yelled, "Allah, Allah, who the fuck is Allah?" publicly, and he got sentenced to 1.5 years of prison. 1.5 years of prison, yelling that in public. And then again, we have in UK Muslim grooming gangs who rape children, and they never even get prosecuted. So where is the justice in this? Seriously, where is the justice in this?
I really don't understand. I really don't understand the caving towards Muslims. Anyways, let's go through the article. Islamic radicalism as well as terrorism, which is growing at an increasingly outrageous pace and enjoys the full support of the press, the state, prosecutors, and the police, is today an openly celebrated multiculturalism. Exactly. Killing apostates. That is multiculturalism these days. Salwan Momika, an Iraqi former Muslim and a Syrian asylum seeker who converted to Christianity, known as Sweden's Quran burner, was murdered with a handgun during a TikTok live broadcast yesterday. Execution style while chanting Allah is the greatest in the background. Momika, 38, gained international attention in 2023 by organizing public protests in which he desecrated and burned copies of the Quran.
And this happened at the same time while Sweden was applying for NATO membership, and Turkish president dictator Islamist dictator Recep Tayyip Erdogan used the protests of Momika to basically extort Sweden and Finland, who were applying for NATO, being like, "Oh, you're not gonna join NATO because of this guy burning Qurans and all of that," which made all of these state actors, prosecutors, and everybody act against Salwan because they thought, "Oh, he must be some kind of a Russian provocateur or some kind of a spy or some kind of something like this." And he's not. He's just a random Syrian guy whose whole family was murdered in Iraq by Muslims. His whole tribe.
ISIS. Yes.
By ISIS, his whole tribe, his whole family, everybody got burned in a wedding. They were holding a wedding, and Muslims went and burned the whole building to kill all of his family. And this is why Swedish and Finnish state are acting against him, because they're like, "Oh, you're trying to not make us join NATO. You're working on behalf of the Russians." This is absolutely bullshit. He was very pro-Western, and he actually celebrated in his Twitter posts when Sweden joined NATO. So all of this is bullshit. All of why they acted against him, all of this is just provocateur, Islamist propaganda and disinformation that is actually working for the Swedish people. They're on the same side right now.
Sadly enough. And I remember the headlines that I saw after his death. You know, they like far right what was the CNN International, it was the CNN or BBC, when they were breaking the news, the first thing they mentioned, they didn't even mention the fact that he was an Assyrian refugee or anything like that. It's just far right Quran burner or something like that. That was the first thing they used to describe him, get killed, for burning the Quran. They just left it like that. It's like, yeah, that's all there is to know about this person. They don't mention the fact that this person was a refugee. This person's family members were killed by Muslims, and how he's trying to, of course, they will not mention that he's trying to warn the West about the dangers of Islam.
As if he doesn't have any reason to do this. As if he doesn't have any reason to do this, right? Oh, he's just a hater, right? He's just a hater.
Yeah, he just woke up one morning. I was like, I was there. Let's just burn Qurans. I mean, that's what far right Islam is. Islamophobes do. That's what we do. I've been on YouTube for how many years? Have I burned any Quran? That's what they do. All right. These liberal actions by Momika led to diplomatic tensions between Sweden and several radical Muslim majority countries that follow Sharia law. His action also caused riots and unrest in many places in Sweden, with Muslims openly encouraging terrorism and sending hundreds of death threats to the man. Momika, a former Muslim who belonged to the world's most persecuted group of people, have repeatedly asked for protection, asylum, understanding that the rights to free speech, the same rights that in Finland, for example, guarantees the red-green Jari Tevo the opportunity to throw a Bible on the ground during a live broadcast without it resulting in death by terrorists or prosecution by the prosecutor. The racist Swedish state, rotten by the red-green Nazi, did everything it could, together with its Islamists and terrorists, to murder the man. The same situation in Finland. The state, the prosecutor, the police, the Islamic terrorists work together against us atheists, liberals, and former Muslim refugees, restricting the freedom of speech and expression of real refugees and relevant minorities through terrorism.
Now, think about this irony. After taking millions of fake asylum seekers, millions of fake refugees, millions of Arab, Muslim, Somali, all of Afghani people that have no reason for international protection to come into the country and work as a low-wage worker class, after doing this, they themselves murdered the only person that actually needed an asylum. Think about this. Think about this.
Yes, that is the sad part. People who are not actually refugees, people who come into your country as refugees and 6 months later they go back to their home country for Badika de Sala. Those people get protected. Why actual refugees who are actually running from real terror, who really love your country and are happy to be there and are warning you about the dangers of some of the people you are bringing in. Those are the ones that get
They murder
persecuted.
them. They get rid of them,
Yeah.
and they were actually trying to expel Momika back to Iraq to die. They were like, "Oh, you're a hate speaker. We're gonna kick you back to Iraq and die." They never say this to child rapists. They never say this to convicted terrorists. They never say this to Islamists. They never say this to anybody else than ex-Muslims, Christians, and actual refugees that need help. They do this to them. They never do this to anybody else. No Swedish leftist person will ever come out and say that, oh, a Muslim rapist should be expelled from the country. Oh, it's racism. We cannot do this. But for him, the guy who actually liked the country, the guy who actually wanted freedom of speech, actually warned them about all of this, he can be killed. He can be expelled. He doesn't have any police protection or nothing. What is
Sadly.
this?
Sadly, this is just how you see various governments, especially in the West, just bend the knee to Islamic terrorists and, ready to suck up to them, essentially. I don't know what they seek to achieve, but I don't think it's going to end well. That is the thing. It's not going to end well. And
not for even themselves. Not for themselves.
Not for any of them. Yeah, it's not for any of them. None of them none of these parties, both the government and the Islamists themselves. Okay, the Islamists themselves believe that all is well that ends in death.
But they're gonna fuck everything for themselves too. Who's gonna pay for their welfare? Who's gonna be the great state to protect them after they have Sharia law? They themselves are gonna get whipped. They themselves are gonna go to prison. They themselves are gonna get rid of their all human rights the Swedish state has given them. Muslims themselves.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, for the average Muslim, death is, like Mohammed Hijab says, we love death. We are ready to, So for them,
you love life, we love death. That's what he said. That's what they say.
So it's not even, Sweden is not going to become a better place for any of them. And I don't know what they seek to achieve. I really don't know what they seek to achieve. The Swedish state allowed its Islamic terrorist allies to murder Salwan Momika on the same day that the state prosecutor would have lost a trial against an asylum seeker exercising freedom of expression and speech, at which point the state, the press, and the police would have had to deal with Islam. Why and how? I don't understand that last phrase. Maybe it sounds better in Finnish.
So they have to hide this. They have to kill him. They have to silence him, because if they let him speak, eventually at some point they would have had to do something about the problem of Islam, right?
Yes.
No. Get rid of the only guy. Very publicly state that anybody who does this will get fucking murdered, and we will not do anything about this. Very publicly state this to silence the only guy who had balls to say the truth. And this is what they do. They kill them off so they never have to talk about this. They will never have to talk about Islam in the country.
Yeah, and they send that message, to any other prospective some person who wants to, refugee or ex-Muslim who wants to say something or do something like, follow the footsteps of someone. They send that message that, try it and this is what is going to happen to you. That's essentially what they are trying to do.
Very publicly. They are stating it very publicly. We get the message, right? You get the message.
But thus far, it has been having like the opposite effect in that we now have so many videos online of people who are burning the Quran. Why Muslims are celebrating. Oh yes, we finally showed them. We've executed this one man who was a thorn in our flesh, only for many more videos to crop out. Showing people just desecrating, stepping on. I even saw one where it was a Muslim woman in hijab burning the Quran. I don't know if you've seen that video of a Muslim woman. Let me see if I can pull it up.
And it is actually Islamic. It is a Islamic hadith that says that if a Quran gets corrupted, for example, it gets dirty, or you rip it, or this and that, instead of throwing it into the garbage, you should burn it. This is their own rules. Own rules.
So why are they opposed to it? If they are all for burning the Quran, why did they then act like it's the worst thing to ever happen?
Because
you burn the Quran anyway.
it is a way to encourage jihadist outrage. The more jihadist
Mm,
outrage you have, the more you're gonna invade, the more you're gonna gain rights, the more you're gonna gain power over the infidels. It's to generate fake
mm.
outrage. They're not actually. Who the fuck is actually offended that somebody burns a book? It's not about the book. It's not about the paper.
Yeah. It's about what they seek to achieve by I think this is where the article ends, right?
No, no, no. Go back. Go
I,
down. Go down.
okay. Uh okay. Muslims in Finland are celebrating the terrorist attack in Sweden by an Islamic terrorist that killed an asylum seeker. A crime against freedom of speech and expression. Muslims never condemned the barbaric and bloody terrorist attack carried out in the name of Islam and on behalf of their faith and culture. But even today, they openly celebrate and admire them, knowing that there are no consequences in the Islamized Nordic countries. And if you say anything against it, their red green Nazi allies will smear and censor you with accusations of Islamophobia, racism, and far rightism. Of course, once something like this happens, the next thing you should be aware of is Islamophobia. Once
Yes,
Muslims
yes,
do
always.
something, it's not, oh, look at what these people did. This is horrible. It's just, this is a very good opportunity for us to remember that, Islamophobia is always on the rise, and our Muslim friends should not, be under whatever it is that they are under fear of, being openly Muslim, whatever it is. We need to protect the Muslim minority. It's just another opportunity to talk
This is
about that.
very ironic from people who like I write are socialist, just like Hitler,
Mm-hmm.
are eco-fascist, just like Hitler, are anti-Semitic, just like Hitler, and openly allied with Islamism, just like Hitler. And these European neoliberal, so-called neoliberal people who are exactly the same people that Nazis were before, are calling me refugees, liberal people. They're calling us Nazis. They're calling us far right. Are you serious? You are the Nazi. You're the socialist. You're the eco-fascist. You're the anti-Semite. You're allying with Islamists, not me.
Yeah.
I
All of
love
a
Jewish
sudden,
people. I love Israel.
all of a sudden, once you say, Mohammed raped a child, there's no difference between you and Nick Fuentes. Once you say that, you and Nick Fuentes are on the same boat. It's interesting. It's interesting.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Literal Nazis are calling me a Nazi. It's crazy.
Let's continue reading. What else? Okay. When in reality, they themselves are socialists, eco-fascists, anti-Semite, and openly allied with Islamism, pro-Nazis, just like the ancestors of their ideology, Hitler. At the same time, as Muslims seek to murder persecuted minorities in need of asylum and receive who receive hundreds of death threats. Prosecutors fed up with red-green Nazis prosecute you for incitement against a national group. And the press does everything it can to hide the Islamic ideological motive of terrorism and to vilify the victim. Guys, if this is not reading well, it's because it is translated from Finnish to English. Okay, so just bear with us. I have experienced all this myself and documented it for over the past 10 years. In 2016, I was accused of defamation of an Al-Qaeda terrorist operating within the rank of the Social Democratic Party by the SPD-backed prosecutor when I exposed this terrorist fundraising crime at the risk of my life, fed up with hundreds of death threats. Okay, what he's saying is that you receive multiple death threats after exposing an Al-Qaeda terrorist who was, within the high rank or very significant rank in the Social Democratic Party, which is a party in Finland, I believe, and how you became a very good customer with the Finnish police. They knew you, you knew them, you had their phone number, they had yours. You could share birthday greetings and all whatnot. Yeah, so in Nigeria, when you go into prison,
I can just summarize this. So basically, I ended up after 2016. I ended up on the press blacklist, even though I'm a refugee, and I'm wondering, like, I just exposed a terrorist crime, a €500,000 fundraising terrorist crime of Al Qaeda. And what you're doing is prosecutor is prosecuting me for defamation against this terrorist, while at the same time he's prosecuting the terrorist for his crimes that I exposed. How is that possible? How is that possible?
Yeah,
I am
it's
defamating
interesting.
him while you are prosecuting him for the same crime that I exposed him.
Yeah. Why? Is the same thing Muslims do? Like, it's the same thing Muslims do. They boldly say that Muhammad married a 9-year-old. I mean, consummated. They boldly say, they know it. They don't. Many of them, the
They
majority, the
don't hide
vast
it. They're
majority
proud
of
of
them.
it.
Yeah, they know it. There's some. In fact, it has inspired so many of the laws in Muslim majority countries. It's not something that is hidden. But if I point it out, if I'm like, look, Muhammad, sexually penetrated a 9-year-old, I am the problem.
Yeah, you're the
I am
problem,
the
not
problem for point. This is something none of you have a problem with. None of you. It's not like it's something. It's only in the West, in some circles of Muslims in the West, where they are a bit, embarrassed about this, But most of them are not. Like, a vast majority of Muslims are not embarrassed by this fact. Like,
Go
it's
to
like
Iran,
nothing to
go
them.
to Iraq, go to Saudi
It's
Arabia,
Western.
go
It's
to
it's
Qatar.
Western. Yeah, it's Western sensibilities that makes them, like, ashamed of it. Without it, they're like, oh, well, what is the problem with that? Then when you point it out to Westerners and you're like, see what these people are doing, you are the bad person. You don't know what you're talking about.
Islamophobe.
Yeah, you're an Islamophobe. How dare you? And then this, and then if they find you and execute you, they say is a blasphemy. That's one thing about blasphemy law that I find very interesting. Blasphemy is not even when you say something that is an insult to Muhammad. It's just something that make Muslims embarrassed. Once you embarrass Muslims because of their religion, you are guilty of blasphemy, and also guilty of
Even though if
Islamophobia.
they do it themselves, they're proud of
Yeah,
it.
even when they
They're
do it
proud of
themselves, even when they have no problem with it themselves, even when they are fine with it, you just become an Islamophobe all of a sudden. Yeah.
And this is
Keep on
horrible.
quiet,
This
man.
guy, the same party that I exposed the Al Qaeda guy from, the
Yeah.
SDP, Social Democrat Party, the editor in chief of their party newspaper, the next day Momika got killed. He blamed him for being a Russian asset that should have been killed, anyways.
Can you
Think
imagine?
about it.
It's
Thank you very much.
if you get killed by Muslims, it's your fault. If you had just kept quiet, nothing would have happened. If you just keep quiet, nothing will have happened to you. This is what
That's exactly
liberal
what the Swedish police said. They said they should have just been quiet. They knew they were gonna die. Why do you do it? Okay.
Yeah. This is what liberal democracy looks like in 2025. So when I look at things
The
like this, I'm like,
future, the progressive future, Frank.
this is how progressive the West have become. This is how progressive. And the same people that are endorsing and are okay with this are also talking about, the same people that are okay with this and are endorsing this are fine with they are fine with LGBTQIA plus stuff. I wonder how the two will mix at the end of the day. When the both of them finally get rid of those who are not in support of their agenda, I just want to see how they will merge together. It's going to be interesting. Something to look forward to. Anyway, let's go.
In the end, all of these people, they will all suffer themselves from all of this.
Yeah, they'll just end up killing each other. Okay, so let's read this article. I guess this is the guy, and this is something written in Finnish.
Oh, it says lies, fascism, Russian lobbies, Islamist terrorism, and like talking badly about murdered refugees. That is the SDP of Finland. That is the Social Democrat Party of Finland. So basically, what I'm saying, like, this party, that the Social Democrat Party in Finland is very known for being very friendly with Islamists, having all of these imams, Iranian hybrid influencers, Al Qaeda terrorists, ISIS members, all kinds of the scum of the world you can find have been found in this party, and this is what they do. And every time they get every time something like this happens, they act the allies of Muslims, because almost all Muslims in Finland either vote for them or then vote for the leftist party. So that's their voter base they have to so-called protect. And
Somebody in the comments said it's suicidal empathy.
And but I kind of disagree with God's side on the suicidal empathy part, that this is not altruism. This is not empathy. This is
Mm.
powered by terrorism, by fear, and by fascism. These people are fascist, and they're afraid of that something will happen to them, and because they're afraid of something will happen to them, they will gladly sacrifice their whole society, all the refugees, all the human rights, all the freedom of speech, everything. They will sacrifice everything to stay in power, to protect themselves, and they don't really care as long as they are rest of their life they are safe and rich. They don't care what happens to Sweden and all the people and all the they don't care. They're dead after it.
Sorry,
They
let me.
just don't
The
care.
person who is sending me a message. I need to tell the person to stop sending it before you guys read more of my message. Anyway, so King of Coin said, when I'm in a meeting, I get WhatsApp calls too. You do? Sorry, guys. It's just I feared that this was going to happen, and now it's happening. I feared that it was going to
and
happen.
and and, and the thing is, it's like I'm saying, it's not empathy, it's not altruism. It's all powered and fueled by fear and terrorism. And to confuse it with these people's empathy, do you think they're actually empathetic to Muslim people? If they were empathetic to Muslim people, they would say something when Muslims take away the rights of their own daughters. They would say something when Muslims don't let their own children go to school or marry them off, or if they don't say anything against that also. They support all of that. They're not empathetic to Muslim people. They are empathetic to ideology, to the fascist Islamist ideology, not people.
But I get where God's side is coming from. Like, I get where he's coming from, because there is also a portion of the people involved in this, especially not just those in government, but just the ordinary individual who buys into these lies, right? Who agrees with it, thinking that, oh, this is a good thing to do. There are some people like that. There are some people who, for example, I was watching some of the speeches that were and interviews done during the Grammys, for example, and then you hear people say things like trans right. I saw one of these musician who said, I've forgotten her name. She was dressed. I even did a video about it. It's going to be posted later. She was like, we need to defend trans rights at all costs. We should place it above everything else. This person believes that trans rights is most important than anything else. We should be protected against above anything else. I mean, think about that statement. Like, it's one thing to say, defend the rights of black people, defend the rights of gay people, defend the rights of even trans people who don't exist, but just defend their rights of this non-existent group. But to say defend it above everything else is, you get what I'm saying? It's like, okay,
this is
what
all,
if it's interfering with? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is all part of the same psychological operation that is making you think that the very, very, very small minority of people with mentally ill dysphorias are the biggest human right issue in the world. Oh, where they will go to the toilets. Oh, how will they get their hormones? Oh, we need to chop their dicks off. We need to chop their breasts off. These are not human rights. These are not the issues that the vast majority of people in Western countries are experiencing. This is not their whole societal structure, beginning from the most simple human right of speaking the truth, is eradicating while they are promoting, oh, let's give hormones to kids, let's cut parts of them off, they have born in the wrong body. That is craziness. This is psychopathy. This is demonic. This is craziness, all caused by the same psychological operations that is bringing Islam into the West. They're all part of the same plan to make you a stupid fucker who is concentrated on non-existent issues and chasing its own tail, while every single human right and the truth is taken away from you. This is what they're doing. This is so obvious. People should wake up.
Yeah, which is very interesting. So the point I was trying to make was that there's some people who buy into this and feel, yeah, it's true. There's this minority of trans children who really need to we need to really, really protect above everything else. Maybe these people are really, really that marginalized. And then they feel the same way towards Muslims. And they're like, yeah, these Muslims are really, I know. I mean, I've spoken to so many people and they say, look, I have Muslim friends that are very nice people. I think some of the things you are saying are not
I
really
don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Muslim people can be very nice. I don't doubt it
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, definitely.
They might
Of
have
course.
very nice Muslim friends.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So when they hear someone like me say some of the things I say, they feel like, Mohammed, the popular name in Britain, Mohammed that I know, my coworker, is a very nice guy. I don't think what you're saying is true. I think you are the problem. You are the one who is not tolerant. It is indeed you. I don't think that terrorist over there really represents Islam. I think it is you. So sometimes I kind of try to, understand that some of these people really are trying to be empathetic. They're just ignorant and they are, buying into lies. Because at the end of the day, yes, that there are good Muslims.
Frank, I have met Nazis who were very nice people, very nice, acted very nice, and were very, very respectful in a certain space. That doesn't make it so that they're not Nazis, that they don't believe in the things that actually believe.
As a matter of fact, many Nazis were very fine people. They are very fine people. I mean, there are so many of them. During the daytime, they are having fun. At night, they are gassing Jews. It's just these people. We are not. I think the idea people have in their head from movies is that people have
the Ahmed and the Muhammad can be very nice in the workplace to you. Right now, when you are still the majority, they will be very nice to you. But what do you think happens in the mosque? What do you think happens in the houses? What do you think they're teaching their kids? Seriously,
exactly. Besides that, what also is the belief system that they buy into? If you see a very nice Nazi, let's say you see a very nice Nazi guy who believes, let's say he believes in so many of the things, or claims to believe in so many of the things that you believe in, but also believes that Hitler is a nice guy and sees Hitler as the perfect example for all of mankind. As much as you say, oh, this guy is a nice guy, won't you have a problem with that person and be like, look, is it that you don't understand what you are saying, or there's something you are not telling me? I don't know if you know. Like, is it that you are confused, or you are deceiving me?
Like somebody commented, like the Nazis in the 30s in the Olympics, they were treating the American black runner, what is it called, Clayton Bigsby. He won the race, and they treated him better than he was getting treated in America at that point, because America was very racist to black people at that point. And he was getting treated better in the Nazi Germany. But does that remove the fact that Nazis want to exterminate Jews?
Even black people? They want to exterminate even black people. They wanted, the German race to be the superior race. That was what they wanted. So it didn't change that. So that is the thing I want people to understand. Look at the ideas that people are buying into. Even if they are nice, at least have that conversation with them, or at least let it make you a bit, I don't know, hesitant to be the person who attests to their good character and be like, yeah, I can vouch for this guy. Maybe you should calm down and be like, look, I know this guy, he's nice at work and all, but what he believes is a problem. I mean, you do that with white people all the time. I know leftists or Trump supporters, for example. Some leftists know Trump supporters that are nice, great guys, wonderful people. You understand? But the mere fact that this person supports Trump is already a problem. It just makes all the nice things that the person is doing non-existent. So you can do that with a Trump supporter, but you cannot do that with a Muslim. So all of a sudden, I have to be the person who is wrong. And I always say, that's why in my videos, I give people examples. I show them this. Look at the Quran. This is it here. This is where it is written. And of course, Muslims will be like, "Oh, you are twisting it left and right. You are turning it all over the place. You're not being straightforward with it. You need to put it in context. You need to." And I'm like, read the whole chapter if you have to. Of course, they will not mention that the Quran is disjointed. Chapter 1, verse 1 may be revealed earlier. Verse 2 is revealed later. It's kind of like a disjointed book. It's not, all arranged in the order in which it was revealed. But that's by the way. The point is, I am not taking anything out of context. What I'm saying is the truth about Islam. And I wish people will begin to realize that, first of all, to understand Islam, you need to separate the people from the idea. First of all, understand that this idea in of itself, it doesn't matter who it is that is subscribing to it, is a problem. Is a problem. You know, Nazis believe in patriotism, for example. They were very patriotic. Patriotism is a very good trait. It's very one that many people in the West need it now more than ever. But that you saw that guy, oh, that guy is patriotic, therefore Nazism has to be a good thing. Fascists, we are very blood and soil kind of people. You know, does that make fascism very good? No. So be able to separate the ideology from the person, you know. And before we continue, there's this thing I wanted to mention. I was like, if maybe, I don't know if I'll be able to mention it again. Recently, I got, maybe some people know it, some don't. I got an invitation. It was somebody, I think he's called Abdul Response, right? I think that's his YouTube name, Abdul Response. So he was doing a live stream with, yeah, that's his name. It's a very interesting name. I thought, you know, maybe he's trying to own the funny stereotypes, you know, whatever. Anyway, his name is Abdul Response, and he's a Nigerian, and he makes YouTube videos, you know, responding to people who criticize Islam. He has made a couple of videos about, in fact, the first video that I made criticizing Islam, Abdul Response made a video responding to it. I did not watch it. I saw it, but I did not watch it because I don't have time to watch this. So I did not watch it. And he has made a couple other videos talking about, oh, this guy is just, of course, an Islamophobe. He has a problem with Islam. These are people you should not listen to, blah, 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 blah. So he did a live stream with a lady. I've forgotten what the lady's name is. And they were talking about Islamophobes online, you know, the David Woods, the apostate prophets, and the likes, you know. And I feel honored that...
Talk about the Boston Prophet. Have you seen he's converted to Christianity, I think?
Maybe. We don't know. It's yet to be seen. Yeah, I saw something like he's on a path or something. He posted himself with his hands holding...
You keep taking our atheists. You.
It's not our fault. Trust me, it's not our fault. Anyway, so they were mentioning the apostate prophets, this other person, that's a God Logic. They mentioned so many of these big names, and somehow they threw my name into the mix. I felt honored. I was like, me? You people are giving me too much credit. I don't know what I'm doing. So they mentioned me, and they were like, and then he was like, he's challenging me to a debate. Now, if it was an online debate, it's a different issue. No, he didn't want an online debate. We are in the same country. So he said I should come to Abuja. Abuja is the capital of Nigeria, but Abuja is kind of like a northern state. You know, they have slaughtered many Christian preachers in Abuja. It's the capital of Nigeria, but it's not really a safe place like that. So he was like, I challenge you to come to Abuja for us to debate one-on-one. I was like,
yeah, of course. You're so stupid. Yeah, let's go.
You want to give me the Salwan Momika treatment. Just say that. Don't give me this.
They think everybody is as stupid as them. They actually think everybody is as stupid as them.
Yeah, just say you want to give me the Salwan Momika treatment. Just tell me that. Don't come on, you can be straightforward about it. So that the whole world can know exactly the kind of people.
Come debate me and my sword. Oh.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that if I don't respond, this is the game that these Dawa guys and these Abduls have mastered. And this is a game that they've mastered. They put you in they create a condition that they know you will not accept. They create this condition, they know you will not accept it. And then when you don't accept it, you're like, you
accept your death. Why would you accept your death? And then when you don't go to die, they're like, oh, see, the infidel is afraid to debate.
He's afraid, he's running.
Okay.
He's running. He doesn't have the bravery to face me like a man. And my response is
right, man. Might is right. Might is right. That's what they believe. Might is right.
Yeah, that's really what they believe. And it's so sad that Muslims.
You saw the video of that. Maybe you can pull it up, Jamie. The Muslim preacher guy in America who, like this soy boy American white guy comes there and he says accidentally, oh, by the way, we used to call our dog Muhammad.
I call my dog Muhammad. Oh, there! I have that video. I call my dog Muhammad. Where is it?
It's like, and the guy, and the most ironic thing is he's called the friendly Muslim. He's called the friendly Muslim doing friendly dawah in the streets and teaching the peace of Islam. And then he himself publishes this video like, look what happens to dirty infidels if they question me.
That's the funny part. He's the one who published it. Though. He's the one who published it. Like, yeah, I am proud of that. I'm like, come on. Let me. I have it here. Let me share my screen so that the audio will be shared as well. Yeah, here's the video. Got it.
It's crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Somebody posted this like, who would like to learn about Islam?
Once, and he gave me like a wink.
What is it? What is it? Are you serious?
You guys are that funny. Let me take
he
it back.
published this video himself.
Yeah. He published it himself.
The one truth. I am the warner. Look, that's his logo. That's his site.
Yeah. He's the one who published it himself. He's like, yeah, I am the warner. And he's proud of it. He's very proud of this.
I called my dog Muhammad once, and he gave me like a wink.
What is it? What is it? Are you serious? I'm sorry. Yeah, what's up,
I'm
man?
sorry.
Okay, well,
This
I call
video
my dog
summarizes. This video summarizes exactly what is going on in Western countries. Western men are small, weak, feminine dhimmis who don't even know. Oh, I'm sorry, I offended you. And if that guy would grab me, I would fucking kill him. I would fucking kill him if that guy would grab me like that. I would shoot him where he stands. But this guy is like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Grow a fucking pair of balls and protect your freedom of speech, Western people. Seriously, you're all getting psychological operated. You're getting all psyopsed to be weak, feminine losers. So people like him can fucking manhandle you in the middle of the street while nobody says anything about it, and they can be fucking proud of it. Come on, grow some care.
And they can post it and be like, yeah, this is me, soldier of Allah. You know, this is what soldiers of Allah.
oh, nice to meet
The
you,
funny
man.
thing is how the conversation started. You know, just look at how the conversation started. Very peaceful, nice, and wonderful. Yeah, it was all nice. You know, nothing.
No, but it's obvious this Western guy was going there to troll him, basically.
He was going there to troll them. He didn't know he was going to. He didn't know he was going to get that kind of reaction. He thought he was just going to troll them. He's just going to be a normal troll. You know, probably thinking, oh, he's like talking to a Christian preacher. You know, these people are going to be nice, even though I say some things that they'll be like, they're not going to be violent. He doesn't know that he was dealing with Abduls. Abduls are not. Abduls can switch from, oh, nice to meet you too.
What the fuck did you say?
What's
Religion
up,
of
man?
peace, everybody. Look how friendly he is. Oh, come here. Look at our book.
Oh, okay, nice. So why are you running though?
Oh no, I just got into Islam.
Oh, you just got into Islam?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So when did that happen?
Just recently.
Okay, why you still got a cross on your neck?
Yeah, well, I kind of follow both. I used
Okay.
to Allah the Messiah, right?
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a debate on TikTok. They were like, is Jesus the Messiah or is
He doesn't know anything about Islam. He doesn't know. He doesn't have a single clue about
He's
Islam,
just
this
saying
guy.
that this. He's just saying it to troll
Allah
them.
the
Like everything.
Messiah. What the fuck?
Allah the Messiah. No
Like-
Muslim have ever said that ever. He's just making it out to get a rise out of this guy.
And it's like around page 20 or something. It says Allah the Messiah. So I don't
No. We don't say. Yeah.
English translation.
Yeah. It's right here. If you want to open up, yeah, you can.
probably pull it up.
Yeah.
Jesus is the
I
Messiah.
don't know. Actually, I'm not.
See the nice laughter, like, oh, you're my G. Oh, it's all fine. And you know, you didn't understand what he's supposed to say. It was all friendly stuff. Very wonderful.
It was on my phone. I don't know about.
No worries. So we'll inform you that Allah is not the Messiah.
Allah is not
Allah sent the Messiah.
Allah sent
You get what I'm trying to say? Because the thing is, on this earth, if you see God, it's already over.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? The whole idea is being tested by God
You think
without
it's over
seeing Him.
because I do think I see.
How convenient.
And he gave me
How
like-
convenient. How convenient that the whole idea is to get tested by something that doesn't exist. How convenient. How fucking convenient. You can see it. It's over for you if you see it. If you see what is it's over for you. It's so dumb. At least like as an atheist, I can respect Christians in the sense that Christians will have a metaphysical and philosophical explanation why I cannot see God. But these guys are like, what the fuck is this? Come on. This is
You can the idea is that you're going to be tested by a God that you cannot see. Okay,
Not smell, not see,
and then the
not
guy was like,
feel. Not...
I think the guy was like, I think I've seen God. You know, I called my dog Muhammad and he winked at me. That was a good joke. It was a good joke. This guy is a good troll.
If you see Allah
Let's play
shit,
that
it's
again.
already over for you.
You're just, the whole idea is being tested by God without seeing him.
Because I do think because I called my dog Muhammad once, and he gave me like a wink.
What did you say? What did you say?
Are you serious? I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Get out of here, bro.
I didn't know.
Get out of here, bro.
Yep.
Yeah,
that happened.
yeah. Tough boys, big boys.
And that is how they destroyed him. That way they were able to prove that, you know, you can't call your dog Muhammad. With that, they've been that just like the same thing they did with Salwan. By killing him, now
What
they've proved
country
that
is
Islam
that?
is.
Was that video from the United States?
I'm not sure. It should be. I suspect where you see Dawa guys have tents and all, it's usually in the UK, but maybe that's the United States. Maybe, but
Because
if it is
that's
the United States,
if I was that guy, I would sue the shit out of him for assault, like defamation and assault. I would sue the shit out of him.
exactly.
But if it's the UK, I would run away because the state itself is gonna fucking murder you.
That is what happens in the UK. Let's go back to this. This article we were reading from your Finnish
Defamation. Posting this video of defaming this guy, like making him look bad, attacking him, posting the video on the internet. That is defamation.
Okay. People are asking why defamation. Yeah, for making him look like. Although I'm not sure you would defamation.
Like, would you like somebody to post a video of you getting assaulted on the internet so people can laugh at you? That is exactly what defamation is.
That's it. My next dog is Mohammed. You can also put SWH. Why you call it when you say Mohammed? Put SWH on his dog tag, or what is it called? You put it there. Mohammed.
You can just
SWH.
call him Mo. You can call him like Mo. Come over here.
Yeah, the body of Salwan Momika. All right, let's get through with this article. This second one. The body of Salwan Momika, a legitimate and prosecuted refugee who was recently murdered in Sweden during a TikTok live broadcast by a Muslim terrorist about freedom of speech and expression, had not yet had time to get cold when the Finnish Social Democrats, who are very obviously allied with Islamic terrorists, in other words, those genuine anti-Semite Nazi supporters, decided to blame the victim who belonged to the minority, just like the thousands of Islamists they support now openly celebrating within the ranks of their own party. I think I should become a newscaster with the way I'm reading this now. After the headquarters of Finnish fascism, Islamism and racism, the editorial-in-chief of the SDP's Nazi party newspaper, Petri something, is not ashamed of himself, but rather considers his racist nonsense to be some kind of intellectual performance on behalf of his murderous allies. He recently posted a tweet blaming the murdered victim for the action of terrorists and how the refugee who reportedly criticized Islam for freedom of speech and European life now risked his life to prevent Sweden from joining NATO, or as some kind of Putinist. I think the idea here is that
blame him.
Yeah, they're kind of blaming him.
He's trying to prevent Sweden to join NATO and is working on behalf of the Russians and all of this. The irony is the same party that started the civil war in Finland to join Russia. They started a civil war in Finland, the bloodiest civil war in the human history against that has happened. Compared to the population, bloodiest in the human history in Finland. They started it. They killed their own people to join Russia, and now in this day and age, they're blaming people of being Russian assets when they themselves have been a Russian asset from the beginning. This is
that's kind of like the thing we see also, not just with Muslim supporters, but also with Muslims, where they criticize you of the very thing that they are doing. Just you are hateful, they are hateful, you are this, they are that, they are the same thing that they are criticizing.
Blame everybody else from what you are. That's what the Nazi propaganda was about. Nazi propaganda was about blaming everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw a tweet. I saw one tweet earlier when Salwan's death was announced. Someone said the terrorist Salwan Momika has been executed. And I was like, the terrorist? You are the terrorist. You are the terrorist, not him. You are the terrorist. How is he the terrorist? That's how they behave. This politician from
Korhonen.
Finland,
Korhonen.
Kohonen,
Yeah.
blames the genuine refugee who criticized Islamism and who has now been murdered for it, who has received a justified death threat also for the action of his allies, whom he calls
Yeah, so basically, this is translated badly. So basically, he's saying
yeah,
the death threats that he received were justified because he's supporting these Islamists. But the fun fact is, according to the fact, Momika was a NATO supporter. Look at the tweet he put up.
yeah.
Go up a little
Yes,
bit.
this tweet.
He's supporting NATO. He's like, congratulations for joining NATO, Sweden. How is he
Mhm.
against NATO?
That is it doesn't matter to these people. Truth don't matter to these people. They can label you with anything. There's a video I saw
And
recently. Somebody was saying
his own party, when Finland joined NATO, his own party was like, we shouldn't join.
can you imagine? But now he's now
That's crazy.
it's just what they do. There's something I saw recently. There was somebody who made a video and was saying that many people speak about DEI, but they don't even know what DEI stands for. That he has seen some of this is a lady. She was like, I've seen some of my colleagues, some of my white friends, complaining about DEI, and then I asked them what is DEI, and they don't know what it means. That it stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. So she emphasized inclusion part, like you see, it's about inclusivity. Even though DEI excludes a vast majority of people, but it's about inclusion. So when I was watching that, it reminded me of a terrorist group in I think it's in Congo or so, that call themselves Democratic Alliance for something, but it's funded by Iran. And I was like, if this lady sees something like that, she will say, you see, they wrote democracy on it. It's democratic. They wrote democracy. You're like, yeah, leave the name, what it calls itself. It's the same thing with these people. They can call themselves whatever and then act the exact opposite of what they call
North
themselves.
Korea is called the Democratic Republic, People's Democratic Republic. Yeah, of course.
Something like that, yeah. So how does this end? He said, it is no surprise that the Nazi party, the SDP, which constantly worked for Russia and Islamists and its racist propagandist wing, the party newspaper and its fascist editorial staff turn all reality on its head and justify the action of Islamic terrorists. It is literally their modus operandi, their established way of doing things. Where do you think this is going to like what do you think is the motivation of this this group of leftists and Europeans who support this
They don't
Muslims?
know themselves also. They don't know what they're doing. They have no agenda, basically. They're just going with the flow and just enforcing the things that have been taught to it. Oh, let's be inclusive, but they think Islamism or Sharia is inclusivity. Or let's be multiculturalism, but they think the most monocultural fascism called Islam is multiculturalism. They just turn everything like upside down.
Yeah, I wonder what they I really hope these people's eyes get opened. Like, I really hope. And also, like, if there are people in the society, I don't know how the general public in Sweden, what the sentiment is among the general, like a vast majority of those in the public. If there are like people in the UK who are just, because I know in the UK, for example, a vast majority of the British people don't like what their government is doing, even though sometimes I wonder what can they do to, what can they do to stop it, or how can they? Are you laughing at the DEI here? Yeah, I want to thank King of Current for the 5 gifted membership. DEI stands for Dumbasses Empowering Islam. Powerful.
Gardag Defense Systems. Do you understand the reference of Gardag Defense Systems? It's the Jewish tree.
Yeah, I know the tree that the Jews are going to hide behind. I know what. That's what the Jews are going to hide behind, and that's the only tree. That's the only tree that would not rat out the Jews. And I also want to thank Mary Alex for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, King of Current, for the 5 Nigerian Perspective gifted membership. Guys, I want you guys to I forgot to mention, give me money, please. Give me money.
Give him money.
Give me money. Give me that much. They say I collect money from people. Prove them right. Prove them right. Give them something to say. You see, this is why he's doing it. I want the accusations.
Israel is not paying you enough.
Yeah, I want the accusations levied against me to be true. It has not been true. That's fine. It has not been true.
You should ask for more money from Benjamin Netanyahu or something like that, because we're all getting paid by Israel anyways, right?
Yeah, I think it is true. It is true super chats like this that they funnel the money. If they just send it like that, it's going to raise suspicions. So, if they funnel it through super chats. So please, those who have been sent by
yes, Mossad, Zion, please send us the money.
Yeah, by Mossad, please send us that money. Funnel it right, launder that money to us, okay? All right, guys. This is another news article from Sweden this time. Swedish Prime Minister refuses to condemn Salwan Momika's murder. No, that doesn't come as a surprise.
Think about this. That's crazy.
Okay. Oh, that he's not condemning it. I mean, with the posture that the government is taking, I will not be surprised that they refuse to condemn it. I mean, they've already released the suspect, right? So not condemning it is like well. And again, they're already hell bent on placating or appeasing the Muslim crowd. So if they condemn it, it's going to be like, we are offending our very the people we are sworn to protect. We've sworn as giving allegiance to, and we are sworn to protect, which is Muslims generally. I don't like calling them extremists. I just like Muslims because that's what they are. At the press conference,
sometimes I think about people saying, "Oh, radical Islamism." What the fuck is radical Islamism? As if Islamism is not radical enough. Are you crazy? Radical Nazism, as if Nazism is not radical enough.
Exactly.
This is all stupid talk.
There are two types of Muslims. Muslims and moderate Muslims. That moderate are the ones that should have not just moderate, in fact, milquetoast Muslims, and then the rest. Those are the only two categories. They're just people who are actually Muslims, and those who are moderate. They are one step in and one step out, or confused Muslims or ignorant Muslims. That's what you have. And then you have the ones who actually know what the religion, demands and are willing to support it or even carry it out. Those are the two types of Muslims, because there is nothing, except you're talking about the Taliban in Afghanistan, that do some things that even I don't understand. Except for them, there is nothing you see a Muslim, because the Taliban is sometimes I'm like, okay, where is this in the Quran? But that's by the way. Except for the Taliban, every other Muslim group I've seen are doing exactly what you expect from somebody who is reading the Quran and the Hadiths. They're not doing anything out of the ordinary. It is very predictable. It is expected. It's expected what they are doing. So that's why I'm like, it's just Muslims. It's just Muslims that are doing this, and it's what Islam produces. It's not a fundamentalist interpretation. It's a common sense interpretation of what you find in the Quran.
It's the moderate. It's the majority. How is it fundamental? How is it extremist? How is it on the extreme? It is not. It's right in the middle, smacked in your face.
It's exactly what is. If you read the Quran, if you read the Hadiths, there is, what other conclusion are you going to come to? What's I know there are people who try to say, oh, it's just for that particular period in time. Then say it about the entire religion, that is just for that particular period in time. How do you tell the difference from, okay, this is what is going to be is applicable back then, and this is what is applicable right now? If you say Surah 929 was for that period and not for this period, then it's everything. Because Surah 929 is one of the last verses to be revealed. For you to even say, oh, it has been abrogated or anything like that. No, it was one of the last things that Muhammad said to his people. King of Koran said, moderate Muslims like Bushra. Bushra and Bushra Shaikh.
Yeah.
The
I know,
lady that dished that hijab for a television for a television job. She used to wear a hijab before. Now you don't see her with hijabs anymore because she's on the news.
How about she is talking this? Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's continue this. Okay. At a press conference yesterday morning, Swedish Prime Minister, this guy, 61, refused to condemn the Islamic murder of asylum seeker Salwan Momika, avoiding direct question, and did not even mention the name of the murdered man. Remind me of was it not Holocaust remembrance where people were giving speech and they didn't even mention the Jews?
About Islamophobia.
Yeah.
In Ireland, on the Holocaust remembrance event that this government itself is organizing a Holocaust remembrance event, they go into the podium and the members of the government start talking about how bad Islamophobia is.
Jews are getting it back to back this period.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and then I think in one of the I've forgotten what country it was. Somebody was criticizing the speech that was given, a Jewish historian, saying that it was the speech was making it look like what the Nazis did was like they were targeting a religious group, and of course why they were also talking about what happened to the Jews during the time of Hitler. They also used the opportunity to talk about what's going on in Gaza. Like, really, you're going to use this opportunity to talk about that? So this person who is a Swedish politician who has served as Prime Minister of Sweden since 2022.
Yeah, this is like a centrist leftist prime minister. Before him were the Swedish Democrats, who were like this far right party against Islam, but now they lost the election against this guy. Yeah,
and this guy is giving those who voted for him a run for their money.
Yeah. So-called moderate party.
Yeah. And when pressed by reporters, he described the Islamic execution of an asylum as a very spectacular murder and refused to comment further. Interesting choice.
Spectacular.
Oh, what a spectacular stuff this is. That's his response. Maybe I should be using that whenever something tragic happens. I'll be like, oh, that was spectacular. Like, are you complimenting the killers? Is that it sounds like a compliment? Like, oh, I saw what you guys did. It was spectacular. This comes after the Swedish government had previously condemned Quran burners on the world stage, officially labeling them as far-right extremists and book burners in diplomatic messages to Turkey and Pakistan. Sweden submitted and bowed to, amongst other things, the demand of the Islamic terrorist state of Turkey, which is seeking to internally undermine the NATO defense alliance, to discipline and accuse illegitimate asylum seeker on behalf of the Islamists, and to the blasphemy demands of the terrorist state of Pakistan, which is governed by Sharia law. Now, when one of these very valid, previously genocide surviving critics have been murdered in the most obvious Islamic terrorist attack on freedom of speech and expression on a TikTok live broadcast in front of the entire nation, Sweden is silent. However, a central Swede can freely burn Bibles and speak against Christianity as much as he likes and enjoy state protection if he experiences even the slightest resistance from Christianity, who at most only use their words. Momika was denied police protection even though he had received hundreds of proven death threats, just as the Finnish police had done the same to me, the author of this text. For years, ignoring the hundreds of death threats I received from Finnish Muslims, I edited and constantly tried to blame.
You can skip this. You can skip this. So Sweden justice system is.
Okay, the Swedish justice system focused on charging Momika with Orwellian dystopian hate speech instead of protecting his life. The Swedish state deliberately targeted the man aided terrorists, and prosecuted him. Targeted the man for terrorism, aided terrorism, and prosecuted him in exactly the same way as an Islamic state, even though the criminal code fully permits blasphemy, criticism, and the burning of holy books. Funny enough, he didn't break any law yet. They are prosecuting him.
You can skip. Instead, Momika skip to instead Momika was.
Okay. Instead, Momika was wrongly accused of inciting against a group of people, when in reality, thousands of Muslims were constantly and daily inciting terrorists to murder him. The Swedish state was guilty of aiding and abetting a terrorist crime and grossly trampling on every possible European human rights. Sweden's silence sends a clear message. Muslims can carry out Islamic terror attacks on the world's most persecuted asylum-seeking minorities for freedom of speech and secular blasphemy, while the state looks the other way and aids terrorists. Sweden has become an Islamic state that follows the Islamic Sharia law with extrajudicial killing death sentence for blasphemy, which is carried out by jihadists with the blessing of the state, just like in Turkey and Pakistan, from which the Islamized terrorist state Sweden takes its model. True. I mean, you said it better than I would have, would have done. This is as true as no truer words have ever been spoken. It's sad that you see in the West places that claim to be liberal states, places that claim to protect freedom of expression, places that say, oh, we are liberals, we are progressive, we are free speech, we are for freedom, we are for liberty, we want everybody to be themselves, to say whatever, to do whatever. We are for everyone's rights. A place that's supposed to be a safe haven for actual persecuted minorities in other parts of the world. And you see those people now turn to an authoritarian
Nazis.
Islamic
Basically
state.
Nazis. Basically Nazis.
Yes, they're now
exactly
they're
what
now,
Nazis did in Germany.
Yeah, they're now racing to be like Pakistan. Carrying out blasphemy laws. That's the one that I think is really sad to see, that they are doing the same thing that of course, yes, to there's a varying degree, right? Like in Pakistan, for example, Momika will have died earlier than he did in Sweden. Okay, so let me not be too hyperbolic.
Hey, at least in Sweden, he survived for like 2 years.
Yeah, but at least in Sweden, he didn't die instantly. Okay, he didn't die instantly. They gave him time. When in Pakistan, they will have just, not just kill him, set his entire house on fire. Any of his friends will also be on the run, something like that, even though the Swedish government is also going after his friend. But I'm just saying it's gradually going towards that. And really, at the end of the day, that you took 2 years to die or you took 2 seconds to die, death is still death. These people are saying you're dying for the same reason someone would die in Pakistan. It should make any person, upset, not just upset, but really, really outraged by what is going on. If you're somebody who is in these countries that we are mentioning, you should really, really be outraged by this. Like, why is our country becoming like Pakistan, becoming like Saudi Arabia, becoming like all these countries that you used to look down on? You're now becoming like them gradually. This is not supposed to be. That is my rant. What are people saying in the comments? Someone said the Islamic 1984, but for Islam, 100%.
The comment by Wisdom is actually very good. Wisdom Awaka. Acha, I don't know.
Wisdom. Okay. So every time I see these events, I'm reminded of the warning from the UAE minister that this free hand the West is giving Islam will be their downfall. Radical extremists are now bred in the West. Yes, many of the terrorists in the West are now homegrown. Homegrown.
Finland is number one.
Yes,
Finland is number one.
Yeah. Think about it. That international terrorists. I know you hear of Boko Haram, but Boko Haram is pretty local. But international terrorists are now being grown in places like Finland and Sweden.
Yeah. And if you look at statistics, like if you look how many Muslims are in the country and how many of them are extremists, Finland is number one in the world
per capita. Yes, it's so sad, and it's just allowed to happen just like that. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Like they say in the script, like
you can you skip to the videos I was telling about the.
Okay.
Yes, that one. This is crazy. This is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
After a couple of days after he died, the Swedish media was interviewing Muslims that were everybody was justifying his death. Everybody. Nobody says nothing against. And they do this as propaganda. After they killed him, after they didn't protect him, after they made him a target, now they make propaganda how it was actually a good thing we did this.
Can you
It was a
imagine?
good thing.
Let me read the okay. State approved execution. Swedish media justified the assassination of Salwan Momika. We must respect Allah. Wow.
Yeah,
I thought
it's an Islamic country. I'm not joking. You know, when I say Sweden is an Islamic country, people think, oh, he's just like, he's just saying, he's just joking.
yeah,
Of course,
you're
it's
just
not an
being
Islamic
hyperbolic.
country. I'm not being. I'm serious. I'm serious. When I say Sweden is an Islamic country, I'm serious. It follows Sharia law. When you follow Sharia law, you're an Islamic country. That's
In
it.
fact, once you start bowing to the demands of radical Muslims or just Islam, no matter, once you start, there's always this, we do one and then we do another one, and then before you know, you are just down the you just wake up one night.
It will come slowly and slowly and slowly, and without even having any laws changed, without ever voting for it, you will realize one day that you are actually living in Sharia law. That's how it happens.
Let's see if we can watch this.
Yeah. Oh, he lives in the wrong area.
So a place in Sweden is the wrong area for a critic of Islam to live.
What does that tell about that area? What does that tell about Sweden? This is the wrong area for this. Pakistan is the wrong area for this. ISIS is the wrong area for this.
Exactly. That's what you say about Iraq. That's what you say about Pakistan. That's what you say about Saudi Arabia. That's what you say about Iran. Not Sweden. Not Sweden.
This is crazy.
هنرسبكتيرا انت مسلم او قرآن ودي.
So she should be killed. So he should be killed. Your message is he didn't respect it. So he lived in the wrong area. He didn't. So it's okay. He died. She should be killed.
So it is that justifies his death, right? Yeah. Like, oh, he didn't respect. He didn't respect. What was the thing that she said again? He doesn't respect Muslims and the Quran. So shoot him in the head.
So you must die. You must die. Oh, poor Muslims. So hard for them. So hard. We must respect.
She said we must.
It's so hard for Muslims when we don't.
That's the funny part. She's not.
She's Swedish. She's fucking Swedish. So she said it's so hard for Muslims. Oh, those poor Muslims. It's so hard for them to not control themselves to kill people.
Yeah, it's so hard for them to see the Quran being burnt. So, you must respect
Allah. It's so
Allah.
hard for not killing people, man. It's so hard for them to not kill people. We must respect it.
These people are incredible. Incredible. Or like the president or whatever it is called in Sweden. Like that person said, it's very spectacular. This is spectacular.
This
is very, very spectacular. Can you imagine? Let me see if I can pull up some of the. What is it that you sent me? The videos that you sent. Also, there is the I think it's here. I think it's this one.
Yeah, this one.
It says
now they're after his friend. This guy is Sweden. This guy is a Swedish citizen, and now they're gonna kill their own citizen. Now they are making him a target. They're going to kill their own citizen, and this is not the first time. If you probably better if you read that one article by me before this that explains the situation. If you go to my website and go to in English section, this one, and if you go down. Go down, way down. There is a there's a section about Sweden's human rights accusations. If you go down, just go down.
Yeah, I think it starts from here, right?
Yeah, this one. So This is not the first time Sweden gets people killed because of Islam. Even their own citizens, even their double citizens, many Iranians with Swedish citizenship were killed off by the Swedish state because they talked against the Iranian state, or they were captured as a hostage by the mullahs in Iran and tortured and all of that. They're Swedish citizens, and the state does nothing for them. Does nothing for them. But when a ethnic Swede gets kidnapped, Iran, you can go down, you can see his face.
This person?
For example, no, he got killed because he got kidnapped by Iran. He's a Iranian Swedish national. But this guy, who is ethnic Swedish, got kidnapped by Iran, and they traded a terrorist for him. But they let the refugee ones, they let the ones that who are not white, they let them to die. What does that tell you about the inclusiveness and anti-racism and multiculturalism of these people? They are fucking Nazis, I'm telling you. They're not.
Yeah, they're sacrificing their own citizens, sacrificing their own people, sacrificing their sacrificing their own children on the altar of inclusion, on the altar of multiculturalism, on the altar of being diverse. You know, I don't know who sowed this idea into the mind of the average European that, you know, maybe we should have a lot of colors in our society. I need to look out the window and see a lot of black people. I don't know who sowed this idea to them, but man.
If I can guarantee you, Frank, even people in Nigeria never think about, I want to look outside the window and see a lot of black.
Exactly. I never wake up, look out to Nigeria and say, maybe we should have some white people here. It has never crossed my mind. Never. We are too black here. Maybe we should have a couple of white people.
We are too black here. Let's put some white people here and there.
Yeah, there's a place in Nigeria, Ajawa Estate, in Lagos rather. There's a place in Lagos called Ajawa Estate. If you go to Ajawa Estate, you see a lot of like Chinese nationals. Like you see from their faces that they're Chinese, they're Indonesian, or, you know, somewhere, you know, in those part of the world. You see them, they just walk freely. It is always weird whenever you go into that place and you just see them, you be like, am I in somewhere? You always feel like, am I still in Nigeria? Kind of, why are these people just walking freely? Like, it's weird.
Exactly how you feel when you go to Sweden. You're like,
yeah, I can imagine going to Birmingham, for example, and just seeing people wearing Am I still in England? Am I still in the UK? What is going on here? Am I still in the right place? I really don't know who sold this idea to the average European that, you know, it is fine, it is a good thing, it's something to, you know, of course, if it happens naturally, okay, fine. But that you have to walk towards it. You have to see it as a goal. You have to see it as something to strive towards. I don't know what African country they visited and they were like, you know, it's good to see black people. But man.
So go back to the previous article about his friend now getting.
Okay,
yeah, this one. So not the first time they're doing this. Everybody who's a refugee, who's an immigrant, who talks a little bit about this against the state or Islam or about their allies, Iran or Turkey or anything like that, they get you killed. They get you killed. And now they're doing this to Salwan Momika's friend, the one who was not killed in a terrorist attack. Now they're putting his face everywhere. Now they are convicting him for hate crimes against an ethnic crime. This guy is the same ethnicity as the people he supposedly is doing this crime against. This is crazy as fuck.
If you be a Muslim, if you used to be a Muslim, you become an ex-Muslim. You've changed your ethnicity. That's the rule now. Yeah, you've changed. You change your ethnicity now. You are now a new ethnicity. You criticize Islam. You are criticizing a different ethnicity. You're not committing hate crime. You know, somebody like Musab Hassan Youssef is also no longer a Palestinian. He's now a racist far right.
He's Jewish.
Yeah, a Jew. Yeah, he's a very Jewish person.
He was always a Jew.
He was always a Jew. You know, stuff like that. That's kind of how it goes now. It's so interesting, you know, to see how but honestly, I really hope that I really just hope that it's a hope. I don't know how it's going to happen. Like some of these countries, somebody wakes up, somebody does something. Because think about the message that this sends to countries with a Muslim majority, even if it's a slight Muslim majority. You understand? Every time in the West, they're always criticizing. I mean, you see it the other day, you see another article from Amnesty International condemning Saudi Arabia for the execution of one person or the other. You always see Amnesty International, they write another one about one Muslim country and the execution of somebody, maybe for something Islamic related. You understand? And now you are silent when Salwan Momika is executed in your own country, somebody you're supposed to
Because
protect.
they honestly think he deserved it. They honestly
Yeah,
think
and
it. It's like
yeah, that's what you're thinking.
eh,
That's the now the for me is that when you do something like this, what message do you send to Saudi Arabia? You send them the message that it is okay. Let's go ahead. Tomorrow, listen, tomorrow when they kill another person, maybe it's somebody you wish they did not kill. You know, it's how the West used to do selective outrage, right? The day they kill somebody, you're like, oh, they shouldn't have killed that person. They're going to be like, well, you guys do it too. Remember when you allowed this person to die? Remember when you were silent when this happened? Who are you to tell us that we shouldn't do this? Imagine Nigeria tomorrow if we have a Muslim president and a Muslim vice. Let's say tomorrow they decide to pick one pastor and decide to make an example out of him, and then Amnesty International is like, no, this is human rights violation. They're going to be like, since when? Since when is it human rights violation? You are giving the message they are sending is not just to the rest of Sweden or to the rest of Europe. It is to the rest of the world. You are telling them that it is okay. Tomorrow they are going to do what you are doing.
message.
Yeah,
That was
and
the-
when you
that-
complain, they will say, but you do it too.
That's exactly the message they want to give. They want to give the message to Pakistan and Turkey and Saudi Arabia and Iran that look, we are not your enemy. Please stop with all the hybrid influence. Stop with all this jihadism. Stop with the Islamism and stop with the gangs. And because Iran has been caught many times funding and funneling drugs and money into Sweden for these Islamic gangs to operate.
Mm,
Iran is
mm,
behind them. So what Sweden is doing, like, oh look, we are obeying you. We are not against Islam. We are protecting Sharia. Please, can you stop this? We can be friends. This is the message they're sending to them, without realizing that these people they're not your friends. They will never be your friends. Your position is to be a slave or to die. That's what they believe.
mm. And well, so I mean that's it. And I don't. I one more thing I want to say is that there's so many things that was on my mind concerning this Salwan Momika's mother. One is think of critics of Islam in places like, let's say, South Africa. Although South Africans will be like, oh, don't worry, South Africa is safe. Well, is it? Or even like me in Nigeria now, it's like you begin to wonder, wow, how long do I have? That thought, I'll be honest with you, that thought crossed my mind. It was like, how long do I have? But God is keeping us. God is keeping us and we'll be fine. Nothing will happen to us. We'll continue to expose this evil cult. We're going to continue to expose these leftists, these communists, these radicals, this satanic alliance in the north. We're going to continue to expose them and nothing is going to stop us. In fact, we will live long to see them die. Somebody say amen in the comments. Can I hear a big amen in the comments? Let me hear that amen. Resounding amen. We are going to live to see them die. Okay? And this is we are not going to be silenced by this. We are not going to be stopped by this. The people who have done these things are not succeeding. One interesting thing to see is the amount of like videos of Quran being desecrated that has, that is now flying everywhere on Twitter. I think it should. One thing that I'm hoping would happen from this is that the date of Salwan's death will become National Quran Burning Day, where we take our time to just desecrate the Quran. And also another thing I want to say to people who are listening to me, 41 of you or 38, and more who are going to watch this afterwards and watch to the end, is please if you can, go out there. If you live in a place where it is possible, go out there, get a bunch of them, as many as possible. Burn it. Your face don't have to show. You don't have to show your face. Okay, just burn it. Video it. Tag me on the video so I'll know it is recent. Tag me, and I'll make a video about it, and I'll let the world see. Look, the Quran is burning. It is burning. You guys thought you succeeded, but you failed. The Quran is on fire. More people are burning it in honor of Salwan Momika. More people are burning it. Okay, let's make this something that those Islamists will regret ever doing. That they cannot silence criticism of Islam. They cannot silence it. It is going to continue. So please, if you can, go out there, get Qurans, burn them. You don't have to show your face so you don't get into trouble. Burn them, tag me, and I'll post it. In fact, from next week, I'll be doing every day saying, this is another Quran burning happening. I'm making videos every day, just showing Qurans that are burning on YouTube, So, yep. Let's give these people, what they're asking for.
I want to remind everybody to, first of all, like this video if you still haven't. Follow Frank on YouTube. Get the subscription if you can. That's very important. Secondly is to go to Twitter. You can see our Twitter X handles, both of us. Please go follow. Frank needs more followers on Twitter. He has a lot on YouTube, but he needs more on X. So please do that also, and go follow me also. And from my page, you can also find my newsletters and all of that. And please just follow. Let us know that you exist. Put some comments. Do what Frank said. Go get some Qurans, burn them, make videos, talk. Because if good people don't talk, the bad will win. Please, just talk.
Yes. Thank you all. Oh, look at that. Just as we are about to close, got another super sticker from Ajo Kali. Thank you so much. All right, with that, this live stream is about to come to an end. Thank you all for hanging with me. I want to thank Yaşa Anta for always being available, always, being here to talk, to conversate with me, and rub minds on all the wonderful things that are happening, all the spectacular things that are happening in the world. And we'll come again next month, hopefully, or sometime towards the end of this month, or maybe not on my channel, maybe to be on Momos's channel, and we'll tell you wonderful stuff. Thank you all for joining us. Until we meet again.
Reporting live from the mosque.